What's going to happen to the economy when a lot of Americans lose their SNAP benefits, when they can't afford healthcare anymore? What's happening isn't random. Economists call it financialization. And once you understand that concept, everything about the economy starts to make sense. So financialization is when money stops being made through work and starts being made through money itself. And this really started in the 1980s, where corporations realized that they could make more by not making things, but by playing financial games. So like, instead of innovating, they borrowed. Instead of hiring, they cut. Instead of rewarding workers, they rewarded shareholders. And what happened next is the birth of what economists call a two-tier economy. At the top, we have the investor class, okay? They don't make money from wages, they make money from assets. And then at the bottom, we have everybody else, the working class, the middle class, the people who keep everything running. And they are trapped in an endless cycle of work and taxes and debt. And this is why the economy can look strong on paper while everybody else you know is struggling. Because in a financialized system, your debt counts as their growth. Your rent going up, that makes it more expensive for you, but it's good for investors. Your credit card balance rising, that's revenue for the banks. You refinancing your mortgage, that's a profit event. So what you need to understand is that you're not failing, you're just living in a system that profits from you being stretched thin. What's really happening here is debt-fueled growth, okay? So the governments are going to borrow to stimulate spending, corporations are going to borrow to invest, you are going to borrow to survive, and sometimes to buy shit that you don't need. So while we have everybody out here cheering about record profits, or we see GDP going up, what we're really celebrating is record debt. And I think the cruelest part of all of this is that they convinced you that this is normal. They told you that working hard was the way out, when in reality, your hard work is just what keeps the fuel in the system running. Like, look at all of the traditional advice that we're given, okay, when they're like, oh, just save your money, but we're living in a world where inflation eats your money faster than you can earn it. And then they'll say things like, stay out of debt while building a system that collapses if you actually do. They don't want you to be debt-free. That's not profitable. This isn't economics, it's engineering, it's psychological, because anxious people spend more. People who are too tired to think long-term keep the short-term profits rolling. What they never expected is that you'd wake up to it. And I did, okay? I grew up broke. I went from $40,000 in debt to millionaire at 30. Look where I am right now. Do you see those mountains in the background? If you had told me 15 years ago that I'd be here right now, I would have thought you were lying. But I wasn't able to actually escape until I woke up to what was going on, and I started creating a different path for myself. I didn't listen to the traditional advice and traditional rules anymore. You actually don't have to burn out to get ahead. You just have to stop playing their game. And that's what I teach on this page, okay? How to use the same systems that built their wealth, investing and leverage and automation to build yours.